Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ArmaHobby. So this is aircraft kit in 1/72 scale. We get so-called deluxe set as it's written here, and it copies Hurricane Mark II A, B, C versions. And as you can see, this special release is named as a Eastern Front. So these markings actually hint on what you can expect inside. And of course, this is the commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So this nice kit is the final shape and nothing will change from what you will see in the video. So first of all, it's written here that the box contains two plastic kits. We have decals, masks, and 3D printed resin parts. And also, well, these two aircraft on the box art hint you that it is possible to assemble two models at the same time. Here we have also what is inside, again the same stuff. So two plastic model kits, decals for 7 marking options, and there is some bonus, two mask sets, and 3D printed parts. Of course, for the PE you will have to buy some aftermarket. And here we have some safety devices, while on the rear side you can see a really detailed profiles and history notes on what was included here. But as you remember, there was a mention of some bonus, so it will be interesting to see what is inside. This is a side opening box, and here's what we have inside. It's a bit of a tight fitment of this cardboard box inside, but we have the plastic sprues separated into several plastic bags. So I'm going to open, I guess I will have to open both, or not. Maybe not, because they carry slightly different parts for different versions. So that's why I'm saying that it might be worth checking each one, but we will see it a bit further in the video review. So here we start with the plastic sprue B. Here you can see that we have wing parts, and I will zoom in a bit. So this is I would say somewhat typical parts division for a 1/48 scale Hurricane. So we have the one-piece top section of the wing and one-piece bottom section. Note that the wing mechanization is pre-molded, unfortunately, so you won't be able to play much with it unless you get some aftermarket release, which will fix this. We also have the exhaust stacks here, bombs, and also some of the additional equipment in form of the fuel tanks. And the external features, they include the typical set. I would say that's recessed panel lines and rivets. Everything is here, and in this scale it's still looking good. And I would say wingspan is more on the large side. This is a 1/72 scale release, and still it is bigger than my palm. And here on the opposite side you can see also some of the guiding elements for the swing parts. And again, just to give you an idea of the size, here is comparison with my hand. So I guess the Hurricane was quite a large aircraft in terms of the wingspan. But that's not all. We also get this clear sprue. So with this one I have only one question: why it is not packed into a separate plastic bag. It was packed in between the gray plastic sprues. But as you can see, the molding quality looks fine, so here I don't have any complaints. And we have the windscreen molded separately from the main section, so you can open the cockpit and show what is inside. But again, I would rather prefer to have it in a separate package so that the part will not arrive to you with some damage. And next we continue with plastic sprue, which is carrying another set of wing parts. And also we have here the fuselage halves, so maybe I'll close the lenses so that you won't be blinded by this light gray color. But note that the fuselage halves are molded without the tail fin. The tail fin can be found here. It is molded together with the rudder, and also beside it you can see also the frontal section of the air intake, which is molded as a single piece part. And that's really cool because you won't have any ugly seams and gaps in this area. So that's what I'm talking about, this part. Also here you can take a closer look at the fuselage parts. And the wing parts is pretty much the same. Here we also have some of the cockpit elements, and here you can see also parts for the main wheel wells. If we flip over the sprues, here inside you can see that there are some minor cockpit features, and again we have the guiding elements for the wings. Overall, I would say this is something what you would expect from this brand, so there are no surprises whatsoever. But this is a good thing because you know what to expect and you actually get it out of the box. Now I would like to check the second set of the plastic sprues, because as far as I understand, this set will be different because you cannot assemble the same type twice. I guess there will be two different versions of the aircraft assembled out of this box. So here you can see another wing parts sprue. Here we have also the same setup. I would say this one should be pretty much the same as what we saw before, so just give me a second. I will try to compare it, and overall it looks the same. So now I just need to check the fuselage halves, and the fuselage halves are also the same, even though for me it was appearing that they are slightly different. So then I think there is no point in showing the same stuff again and again, and we can move to the other components. And other components include, as you remember, the 3D printed parts. Here comes the tricky part, because they are packed like this into the foam bubble wrap, and I'm not sure how to cut it without damaging the parts. So maybe it would be better to have them in the cardboard box instead, so this way you will be able to open it without damaging it. But who knows, maybe in the next releases we will see such improvement. In the meantime, I guess I will use my scissors in order to cut through it, and just to show you what I'm doing, I will show it on the camera. So here I'm cutting through this plastic bag. The problem here is that this bubble wrap is tightly wrapped around the parts, and as you can see it can easily break the parts. That's why I'm trying to be extra careful with this, but it looks like I successfully removed this insert, so I will show you what is inside. And this looks a bit funny to me because the clear parts are not packed into a separate plastic bag, but the 3D printed parts are packed into several plastic bags. And for the 3D printed parts, we have here the pilot seats, and note that they're both molded with seat belts. So for the seat belts you will not need the PE parts. We also have the exhaust stacks in several types as far as you can see, and also gun barrels, some minor elements here. So it's a quite tight packaging. Definitely check what you will be using on your build, but overall I think it's a really good design. So it's just a matter of carefully installing all of these parts, and it looks like Arma Hobby was trying to use the space efficiently, hence such placement of the parts. Okay, next we continue with the things which were hidden in the assembly manual. So first of all, there are two pre-cut mask sheets, and as far as you can see, they're useful not only for the canopy but also for the landing gear wheels, and this is a really handy thing because it will give you a nice paint work without any additional time spending, let's say. And next we continue with the decal sheet. So here you can see it. This one is printed by Tech Mod, it's written here. So we have all of the necessary symbols for marking options. We also have the stencils and even the seatbelt decals, even though here they will not be necessary. We also have the segmentation for different aircraft, but this is more in terms of the stencils. And overall I think this is a really good looking decal sheet, so it's just a matter of deciding which marking option you would like to copy on your build. Next we continue with assembly manual. So here I will zoom out. The short history note is on the first page. We have the parts map here, and then we continue, by the way, the masks application guide is here. So then we continue with the choice between the markings, because you have to decide before the assembly. As you can see, it will define various parts installation choice. And the assembly process starts with the main wing. So here you can also do some alternations depending on which marking you choose. Here we have the 3D printed parts. So that's the parts map for the small 3D printed base. And here you can see that we have some cockpit elements. We also have some panels for the wing. And on the other side we have additional marking option. That's the Finnish aircraft as far as I remember. Next we continue here with the seat assembly, but as you remember we have the 3D printed pilot seat, so that's why we don't need this step. Next we assemble the fuselage halves together. Again, there are some modifications necessary in order to copy particular marking. Here we have the landing gear assembly and also replacement of the machine gun barrels, but again it will depend on the marking you choose. You can also open the canopies, you remember, and then we proceed with some additional minor parts. Note that the chin panel is assembled out of 2 parts, by the way, so be careful with this. And then we start with the first 2 markings. As you can see, those are aircraft in a quite colorful schemes, so definitely worth checking them and maybe searching for some reference material. I especially like this winter aircraft, might be fun to copy and also to replicate some weathering because they were usually heavily beaten. And next we continue with 2 more. So here again another Red Star aircraft and another one from the box art, and 1 more here which is also a British aircraft. And it's written here that the aircraft is coming from RAF Squadron from Operation Benedict and USSR October 1941. So overall we get a quite interesting release with I would say unusual markings for this aircraft, and you don't have to buy anything extra because you get a lot of interesting things in the box, in the standard package. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.